Hello everyone, welcome back. Today is the fun part of design thinking, ideation. It's the process that you know well about design thinking. Everybody has seen something like this on the internet, or at least you have done this a couple of times already. So you're putting post-its all over the wall and try to generate ideas, no boundaries, no limit, no criticism. This is the fun part. Now, benefits of ideation is it lets you ask the right questions and get obvious solutions out of your head and drive your team beyond them. It's a key part. Everybody knows about this already? Okay, let's take that out. Let's not think about that anymore. So we move on to innovative ideas and bring together perspectives and strengths of the team members and create volume and variety in your innovation options. What that means is you already know what to do, what problems to solve. Now you have to come up with creative ideas about how to solve those problems. And it gives you ideas and ideas and ideas about how to do that. Because it is fun, everybody talks about it. A lot of people spend a lot of time on it, but you should not stop there. However, one thing that you have to keep in mind, well, I say this a lot, but I have to say this again. There are 4 basic rules about brainstorming, and that applies to every ideation methodology. And if you can do that, you can make the ideation fun. Okay, 1, focus on quantity, as in it's a quantity over quality. You don't have to come up with very creative, very innovative idea at first. Just say what you need to say, what you want to say, what's in your head, then we can go from there. And 2, no criticism, no judgment. If you don't like it, keep it to yourself. If you like it, again, keep it to yourself. Let other people speak and put every idea that all the team members can think of out there, and we can go from there. And 3, encourage wild ideas. If people keep talking about ideas that other people can also think of, then there's no creativity, there's no innovativeness, there's no innovation. So you have to come up with something that nobody else can think about. Therefore, wild ideas. And once those are out there, you need to combine them and keep improving the ideas. Those are 4 basic rules, and whatever you do, whatever methodologies that you use, these 4 rules apply all the way through. Now, where do you start? We use how might we questions to frame and open up your design challenge. You start with POV statement that you created at the end of define stage. Certain customers need certain things to happen because A, B, C, and D. That's a POV statement. Use that and rephrase it in a way, how might we do this to help them solve their problems? And we can go from there. Key ideation techniques, I only listed like 10 of them: absence thinking, brainstorming, lateral thinking, lotus blossom, mind mapping. You can actually find over 100 techniques for your ideation. It doesn't really matter what you do, what you use, as long as you keep those 4 basic rules in mind, and you can do that. You can do this ideation fun and productive. Another thing that you have to keep in mind for this stage is each methodology has pros and cons. Sometimes it is quicker, more intuitive to use, more analytical to use. Sometimes it's logical, sometimes it's psychological. It's better for individuals, sometimes it's better for groups. Now, you can find this, what you see on the screen. I just compare this to brainstorming and post-ups. Brainstorming is more for groups, but post-ups is not so much about groups, and it's much quicker. So if you understand the goods and bads, pros and cons of these methodologies, then it'll be more effective when you do this ideation process. Wait a minute, I don't know everything about this methodologies. Can anybody help us? Yes, that's what facilitators do. They are not just standing there just to cheer you up. They find right methodologies to help you out. And when you're stuck, they suggest, okay, let's take a break. Let's move on to this. Let's try to use this methodology. That's what facilitators do. They are not mentors. They are not consultants. They are not coaches. They are not trying to help you find the answers. They are just trying to help you go through this stage in a more effective way so you can find the answers. So after ideation session is complete, you have to do this. I already said convergence is more important than divergence. Generating ideas is good, but selecting one is much more important. I already told you that. This is where you do that. You can do post-it voting or dot voting or bingo selection, 6 thinking hats. You can use whatever method you use. Sometimes people try to use Kano analysis. Sometimes people try to do something more creative to select the ideas, but you have to do this and select the idea that you can actually work on, innovative enough, creative enough, and that's workable. If you can do that at the end of ideation session, just pick 1 or 2 ideas that you can really work on, you can move on to prototyping. And that's the time that we try to combine agile and design thinking and lean canvas at the same time. Once you identify your customers, empathize with them, find their unarticulated needs, define their problems, and you do the ideation so you can suggest a couple of ideas, and then you move on to agile and use a sprint method, scrum methods, to effectively manage the project. Once you do that, you have an MVP or prototype. Now you can take that to the customers, learn from them, and do this again. So it's a simple process, but it takes a lot of iteration to complete. That summarizes design thinking. Wait a minute, we didn't talk about too much of this. Yes, true, but at the same time, let's look at all this. We didn't talk about ideation details. We didn't talk about what basic rules apply. I didn't do that because you already know. What you need to know at this point is, yes, you do everything the way you want to run it, but do not forget to select the ideas that actually work. You have to cut it down to workable portion. When you have 2,000 innovative, creative ideas, that may not mean too much if you cannot actually work on anything. Find something that you can really work on, and we do sprint, which we will talk about next time. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.